Welcome in, buddy. I wanted to speak to you today, as promised, about a way of understanding Healy that really landed for me because it's really simple, but it also seems very complicated. There's a lot of quantum science and physics and energetics that are contained in understanding how this actually works, but a way that really landed for me on a cellular level, intellectually, and also a way that I really love to describe it to my clients and people who are curious about Healy. And so I wanted to share it with you, one, to help perhaps integrate how Healy works, and also some tools to share it. You can take any of this that you resonate with, to share it with people that are perhaps curious about it and you're having a hard time explaining exactly what it is that occurs. And so I'm going to start talking about this as it relates to the nervous system. So our nervous systems are all wired to communicate through energetics with each other. And so we can co-regulate in community. We can be dysregulated or become deregulated, dysregulated by people around us when we're not really aware of what's happening to the energetics. So our nervous systems are always kind of communicating with surroundings and other nervous systems. We come into resonance with the information in our field, which is why it's so important to be discerning about what information you're allowing in, what people, what things, because you're coming into resonance with the things that you allow in your field, right? And so knowing that this is how our nervous systems are wired to communicate. So think about this in nature. A herd is sensing some danger. A animal in the herd senses some danger. It doesn't yell, danger. It communicates it through its own reaction to what it's sensing. And then you can see the entire herd in almost one moment starts mobilizing because of what happened in one nervous system. So it's communicating through unspoken language. It's how you can be feeling average and then come into contact with somebody who is embodying a different frequency, and it can bring you up, raise you to a different vibration. It can lift your mood and completely go in the other way too. You can be feeling good and somebody walks into a room and you're like, something's wrong, right? You come into resonance with it. An example that always hits home for me is like babies. They don't come into the world with a fully developed nervous system. There's parts of the nervous system that are still developing. And so through co-regulation with the parent, it helps to expand parts of the nervous system and allow it to grow in certain ways. And so when it goes into sympathetic state of like, I'm hungry and I'm gonna die if I don't eat, we show the baby, you're okay. Here's your food. You're okay. I'm changing your diaper. You're okay. Here's a blanket. Here's some warmth. You're okay. I'm letting you cool down. Whatever it is, we're co-regulating. And of course, unfortunately, it's not always the case that occurs for babies. And their nervous systems don't learn to co-regulate. They may be in a dysregulated state and move forward in life in that way, and may need some support later in life, learning how to come into that state because they're affected by the nervous system around them. So think about that. Now, Healy is almost like a regulated nervous system that gets to impact you through the frequencies, through the state that it is carrying. Your nervous system is regulating to that in some ways. And again, it's not all nervous system work. The Healy works on multiple layers, like tissue layers, energetic layers, physical layers, subtle energetic layers, right? So I'm not being like, this isn't the totality of explaining how Healy works. It's sort of an analogy to help you understand. And it does also work with the nervous system, 1,000%. But think about this as like a regulated state coming in to support you with whatever it is that you're desiring support on, or whatever it is that the Blue app is telling you that you need support in. And so you apply the frequencies to your system and think about it like this regulated state coming in. And then your system is attuning to that quality of energy, and you're being regulated by it for the duration that you're with it. And then you perhaps are done the program and you go about your day and you can feel the effects of it. And then perhaps you start to go back to your other state. And then it's like the next day you apply and you continue bringing yourself into resonance with that program or whatever it is you need. And then eventually the muscle memory of that is like, actually, I can kind of find this state myself. And you may find that you no longer require that program as often, or perhaps you're needing something else because your attention is bringing, the safety that's created here is now allowing another layer to come to the surface. And you're like, oh yeah, I kind of need to tend to this now. And then you notice, maybe 2 weeks later, you're like, oh, actually, I'm kind of feeling like a little bit of that dissonance again. So you go and apply the program. An example I love using here is like the root chakra program for like safety, stability. I use that a lot. And then when I'm feeling really grounded, it's like, I don't really need it right now because I'm able to innately do this for myself. I'm resourcing myself. And then I can notice when perhaps I'm not feeling that. This is so important. Your body has an innate ability to heal. It's always trying to move towards healing. It carries that ability, but sometimes we need things to support it, to like kickstart it in that way. And Healy does this for you. It's like, here you go. Here's the domino flick of the thing that you may need or that may support you to help the body do what it knows how to do. But when we come into deregulated states, or like have been living a certain way, it's like, oh, this is how it always is. This is how it always is. I don't know how to get down here. And we can't always get there with the mind. Yes, mindset's critical and so important, and the way we speak to ourselves and our words carry vibration. But if our system doesn't even know what this is, it's hard for it to pull it down into this, or up, whichever we're talking about here, into that state. And so this is like the most regulated system that you get to bring into your field to help the body do what it already knows how to do. So Healy doesn't fix you without you getting on board, without you setting the intention to allow the body to come into resonance with it, to pay attention to the thoughts that are happening while this is running, because you can completely bypass this with the thoughts. This isn't working. This is stupid. I don't even care, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's going to affect how this is working with you. Intention is everything. But I really love thinking about it this way because I have inserted and worked with so many of these programs that feel so nourishing, and it may over time I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't even feel like I need it. And that's like that program, and that's such a win. It's not this thing that you have to have in order to live life to its fullest or work through all your blocks. You can do it without it, but it's not as easy, and we don't always have access to the frequency of the thing that we're desiring. Sometimes we don't have people to regulate us that way, or we don't have connection to like a different way of thinking, which is why I love the Blue app so much, the coaching module, because it's bringing you like information and frequency that you may not actually have consciously had access to before, because maybe you don't have it in your field with the people around you, or maybe you have a block, and so it's bringing in something into your field that may not otherwise be there, or you don't even know where to search for it. So I really, really love thinking about it in this way. You are inserting something that is bringing you into resonance with that. And your body is coming into coherence with that program, or your energy field, or whichever layer you're working on. And then maybe it goes away. And then you reapply it and it comes back. And it's like this muscle you strengthen. It's like, oh yeah, oh my goodness, my body remembers how to do this now. I remember how to do this now. So in this safety, something else is coming up, or something else wants to be brought in. Healy can enhance what the body is capable of doing. Healy can enhance what the mind is capable of doing. Healy can enhance the energetic shifts that you are capable of doing. But sometimes we need support. So, a really simple way that I love to explain it to people who are curious about it is this way. And it's like, think about this as the most regulated nervous system, your most high vibe friend, your little helper that just comes in and offers you a pillar of whatever it is you're working on, and you get to like anchor to it and align to it over and over and over again, as many times as you need. Like a little toolbox of a bunch of different nervous system regulation that you get to offer and apply to yourself. Okay, I think that was everything I wanted to say. As always here to support you, always here to answer your questions, always here to assist in any way that I can. And yeah, love to hear how this lands with you. And if you have any questions, please do reach out. Take care.